It appeared on a Monday morning, and that should have been my first clue. Nothing good ever appears on a Monday. There it was, right in the center of the building's entrance hall. A large, heavy pot. Black enamel, silver handles, lid perfectly sealed. It wasn't new, but it wasn't old either. It sat there with the confidence of an invited guest. At first, I thought someone had simply dropped it off while unloading groceries. Maybe Walter, the caretaker, had forgotten it while reorganizing the storage room again. But Walter is a man who would rather misplace a limb than a kitchen utensil. By 8 a.m., everyone had noticed it. You could tell because the rhythm of the hallway changed. Usually, Monday mornings at the 42 are filled with hurried footsteps, perfume, and denial. But that day, people slowed down, stared, whispered. The pot turned into a gravitational field for curiosity and guilt. Caroline was the first to speak up. She stood near the elevator, holding her reusable coffee cup like a moral compass. "Is it safe to touch?" she asked. Emily peeked from behind her like a stage assistant afraid of props. Maybe someone left it for recycling? Recycling what, exactly? Regret? I said. They laughed nervously, the way people laugh when they hope someone else will fix reality. Walter finally appeared, holding his clipboard like a badge of authority. "Whose pot is this?" he demanded, as though we were all suspects in a culinary crime. Silence. No one claimed it. Not even a false confession, which is rare around here. "It's been here since 6:30, Walter said. "I checked the cameras." That caught everyone's attention. "And?" Caroline asked. He adjusted his glasses. "And nothing. 1 minute the hall's empty, next minute, there it is. Maybe the camera glitched," I offered. He frowned. "Our cameras don't glitch, Mrs. Moore." He's wrong, of course. Everything glitches eventually. Machines, marriages, memory. But I let him have that one. The pot sat there through the morning like it belonged to no one and everyone. People passed by pretending not to look, but always slowing down just enough to check if the lid had moved. It hadn't. By noon, the group chat was vibrating with theories. Emily wrote, "Maybe it's a prank." Caroline replied, "Who would prank us with a pot?" Walter added, "Someone with too much time and no respect for hall cleanliness." Then Veronica chimed in, "I just hope it doesn't smell." That's when I decided to take a closer look. Not because I believed in the supernatural, though around here that's tempting, but because curiosity is the only sport I still practice regularly. I walked over, heels clicking against the marble. The pot was spotless, not dusty, not greasy. Whoever placed it there cared enough to clean it first. The lid fit perfectly, no gaps. I leaned down just enough to listen. Nothing. No hum, no ticking, no suspicious aroma. Just silence. Caroline watched me from a distance. "Evelyn, don't open it." I wasn't going to. I lied. There's something irresistible about the forbidden. It's why people read diaries, fall for unavailable men, and check old messages at midnight. So naturally, I reached for the handle. "Mrs. Moore!" Walter barked. I froze, hand inches from the lid. "Curiosity is not a crime, Walter." "Depends on the outcome," he said. That's when Veronica entered the hall, carrying her gym bag and radiating self-assurance. "What's all this fuss?" she asked. "The pot," Caroline said simply. Veronica raised an eyebrow. "Oh, that's still there?" "Still." She said still. That meant she'd noticed it earlier. "Did you see it when you left this morning?" I asked. "Briefly," she said. "I assumed it was Walter's." Walter scowled. And I assumed people would stop leaving things in the hall. Veronica shrugged. Then maybe we should call the police, or a priest, or a cook, I muttered. The tension was delicious. It's rare that an entire building collectively loses composure over cookware. But then again, the 42 is full of people who live ordinary lives and secretly crave extraordinary drama. The pot had given us exactly that, a mystery that required no permission. By afternoon, Walter placed a sign next to it. Unclaimed item will be removed in 24 hours. As if bureaucracy could tame curiosity. But then something odd happened. Around dusk, I passed by again, and the sign was gone. The pot remained, but the paper had vanished. Not torn, not crumpled, simply gone. Walter swore he didn't touch it. Caroline swore she didn't see anyone near it. Emily said maybe a draft took it, which is adorable because our hall has less airflow than a tomb. I checked the security feed again. This time there was movement, but blurry, fast, unrecognizable. A shape that could have been anything, or anyone. When I told Caroline, she whispered, "What if someone's using it to hide something?" I smiled. My dear, if we started listing what people hide around here, we'd run out of paper before we got to the letter B. That night, I went to bed thinking about it. The pot, the hall, the shape on the camera. But mostly I thought about what makes a person leave something behind and then pretend they didn't. Because it wasn't about the pot. It never is. It was about guilt. Who had it, and who didn't. And as I drifted to sleep, I realized something unsettling. Whoever left that pot wanted it to be found. By morning, the entire building smelled faintly of cumin, despair, and denial. At first, I thought I was imagining it. You know how your mind plays tricks when it wants a story to continue? But no. The scent was real, warm and spicy, curling its way up through the stairwell like an invitation and a warning at the same time. I stepped into the hall, and there, it was the same black pot, still sitting proudly in the center of the marble floor. Only now, it wasn't just there. It was doing something. Steam. A thin, steady wisp of steam leaked from under the lid. Slow. Intentional. As if whatever was inside had finally decided to join the conversation. "Walter," I called, because every mystery needs a man with a clipboard. He arrived within minutes, out of breath and carrying a flashlight. "I was just coming to check," he said. "Check what, exactly?" "The situation." "Ah," I said. "We're calling it that now." Caroline peeked out from her door, wrapped in a robe that screamed, "Emotional support fabric." "It's cooking," she whispered. "Yes," I said, "but who's feeding it?" Emily appeared too, holding her phone like it was a protective charm. "Should we call someone?" "Like who?" I asked. "The police? The fire department? Gordon Ramsay?" She blinked. "Maybe Veronica will know what to do." Of course she would. Veronica always knew, or at least acted like she did. 5 minutes later, she descended the stairs like a queen arriving at the scene of her own coronation, silk robe shimmering, hair immaculate, the faint scent of expensive panic in the air. "All right," she said. "What are we panicking about?" "The pot," Walter said. She tilted her head. "Still, you people really need hobbies." "It's steaming," Caroline said. Veronica raised an eyebrow, crossed her arms, and leaned forward just enough to inspect it. Could be someone's slow cooker, maybe a meal prep gone rogue." "Do you often slow cook in shared spaces?" I asked. She smiled. Not since the incident with the lasagna, dear. Walter frowned. If it's plugged in, we need to know. Fire safety. It's not plugged in, I said. And it wasn't warm yesterday. Everyone froze. That means Emily started. That someone turned it on, I finished. We all stared at it like we expected the lid to lift itself. Maybe it's a gift, Emily suggested. For who? I asked. She shrugged. The building? Walter sighed, ran a hand over his face, and said, I'm opening it. No, Caroline gasped. Yes, I said at the same time. Walter hesitated between our competing certainties. Then, with all the drama of a man in a daytime soap opera, he reached out, gripped the handle, and lifted the lid. Steam erupted like applause. For a second, no one breathed. Then we all leaned in. Inside was stew. A thick, bubbling, aromatic stew. The kind that looks homemade, rich, and suspiciously delicious. Caroline blinked. It smells good. Emily nodded. Really good. Veronica covered her mouth. That's beef bourguignon. Of course you'd know, I said. Walter sniffed cautiously. Should I taste it? I gasped. Are you insane? It could be poisoned. He frowned. It smells fine. So does danger, I said, but curiosity, as always, won. Walter dipped a spoon, blew gently, and took a sip. We all waited. He blinked once, twice. Then his eyes widened. Oh, wow, he whispered. That's amazing. Emily gasped. So it's safe? Safe? I said. No, but clearly seasoned. That's when the group chat exploded again. Someone, no one would admit who, had posted a photo of Walter mid-spoonful, with the caption, "It's delicious. Still no owner." Within minutes, the entire building was in uproar. People began wandering down from their apartments to witness the spectacle. Someone brought bowls, someone else brought bread, and before you could say health code violation, we were having an impromptu buffet in the hall. Veronica took a serving, declared it earthy but pretentious, and immediately had seconds. Caroline ate quietly, eyes darting toward the staircase every few bites, as if waiting for the chef to appear. Emily live-streamed a bit of it to her friends. Walter pretended to enforce order while refilling his bowl, and I naturally took notes. Because when a mystery turns communal, it stops being about truth and starts being about performance. Then, mid-chaos, the elevator chimed. The doors opened slowly, and out stepped Daniel Price, in gym clothes, headphones around his neck, face pale as flour. He froze at the sight of us. What? He said. Is that smell? Caroline smiled awkwardly. Breakfast. He frowned. In the hallway? Veronica gestured elegantly toward the pot. Apparently it's a mystery stew. Join us? He hesitated, looked at the crowd, then at the pot. Wait, he said. That's my pot. The silence that followed was cathedral level. Everyone turned. Walter dropped his spoon. Caroline's jaw tightened. Emily nearly dropped her phone. Your pot? I asked, in the tone one reserves for confessions and plot twists. Daniel rubbed the back of his neck. Yeah, I left it out last night. Left it out, I repeated, like a lost child. I was cleaning up, he said quickly. Didn't realize. Veronica crossed her arms. And the food? Did you make this? He blinked. The food? Yes, Daniel. The food that's currently uniting your neighbors in communal confusion. He looked inside. That's not mine. The silence deepened. Then whose is it? Emily asked, voice trembling. Daniel took a step back. I swear when I left it here it was empty. Everyone stared at the pot again. It bubbled gently, as if amused by our incompetence. I looked at Walter. He looked at me. And in that moment, we both knew two things. 1. Daniel wasn't lying. 2. Whatever was in that pot wasn't done with us yet. The next morning, the smell was stronger. Not bad, just intentional, like someone wanted us to remember. By then, the pot had turned into local legend. People stopped by just to check on it, as if it were a newborn or a crime scene. Walter roped off the area with yellow caution tape he clearly enjoyed owning. Emily printed a sign. Do not touch. Mystery in progress. Veronica hated it. It ruins the aesthetic, she said, sipping her oat milk latte like we were filming a documentary about denial. Daniel, of course, avoided eye contact with everyone. I caught him by the mailboxes, trying to look casual. You sure you left it empty? I asked. Positive, he said. It was spotless. Then someone filled it, I said. He nodded. Yeah, but with what? I smiled. That's the question of the week, isn't it? That afternoon, something changed again. Caroline texted me. You need to see this. The pot's different. Different how? I didn't ask. Curiosity has better manners when it's late to the party. When I got downstairs, half the building was already there. The lid was closed again, tightly sealed as if reset. But someone had tied a small red ribbon around one of the handles. Thin satin, freshly knotted. Who did this? Walter demanded. No one answered. Maybe someone's marking it, Emily said. For what? I asked. A future haunting? Caroline looked uneasy. What if it's meant for someone? Like a message, Veronica scoffed. A message made of stew? I've seen stranger confessions, I said. Walter crouched down, studying the ribbon like a detective in an apron. There's something inside again, he said quietly. How can you tell? He tapped the lid. Thunk. Thunk. Not hollow. Don't open it, Caroline said. I wasn't going to, Walter lied. He was absolutely going to. With all the grace of a man ignoring every horror movie ever made, he lifted the lid again. Inside, no stew. This time it was something else entirely. Neatly stacked folded napkins, all white, all identical, and on the top one, written in black marker, stop eating what isn't yours. For a long, beautiful second, no one spoke. Then Veronica laughed. Loud, sharp, perfect. Oh, that's brilliant, she said. Someone's pranking us. Finally a sense of humor in this building. Walter looked offended. This isn't funny. Someone's entering the premises without permission, Emily whispered. But how? The cameras didn't show anyone. Caroline crossed her arms. Maybe it's one of us. All eyes turned. The hall had never felt smaller. That's absurd, Veronica said quickly. None of us would what? I interrupted. Cook anonymously? Leave notes? Seek attention in mysterious ways? Veronica, please. We're suburban adults. We do that emotionally every day. She glared at me. You're implying something. I'm implying everything, I said. Tension filled the room like smoke. And then, as if summoned by irony itself, the elevator doors opened again. It was Mrs. Agnes Holloway, our resident ghost made flesh. Everyone thought she'd moved away months ago. She hadn't. She just preferred to live like a rumor. She shuffled out slowly, holding a small shopping bag. Oh dear, she said, squinting at the circle of us around the pot. Is that mine? The collective gasp could have powered the entire grid. Yours? Walter repeated, voice cracking like glass. She nodded. Yes, my daughter dropped it off. I asked her to bring it back after the repairs in my kitchen. She must have left it here, Caroline blinked. But the stew? The note, Mrs. Holloway looked confused. What stew? The one that was inside your pot, Veronica said. Oh, goodness, no, Mrs. Holloway said. That wasn't stew. It was bone broth for the dog shelter. I make it every week. And the note? I asked. She smiled faintly. Oh, that. I wrote it after someone kept taking the containers last month. I didn't mean to scare anyone. Silence again, this time the embarrassed kind. Walter coughed. Well, that explains it. It didn't, not entirely. Because when she left, taking her pot with her, something in the hallway still felt charged, like a storm that had pretended to pass. Later that evening, I saw Daniel on the stairwell shaking his head. I can't believe it was hers. Can't you? I asked. He frowned. You mean, everyone hides something, I said. Some hide guilt. Others hide broth. He laughed nervously. You're impossible, Evelyn. Yes, I said. That's why I sleep so well. The building went quiet after that. The hall smelled faintly of herbs and mystery for days. And every time someone passed by, they slowed down, half expecting another surprise. But the spot stayed empty until Friday morning. There, in the same place where the pot once sat, was a single napkin. Folded perfectly. No words this time, just a faint stain in the shape of a heart. I didn't tell anyone. Some endings don't need witnesses. Just good lighting and a little imagination. I went back upstairs, brewed tea, and opened the group chat. Emily had posted a meme, a cartoon of a haunted stew pot. Veronica had replied with a rolling eyes emoji. Caroline had sent a heart, and me? I just wrote, mystery solved. Appetite restored. Because around here, resolution is never the point. It's the retelling that keeps us fed. If this story gave you a laugh, or made you suspicious of your own kitchen, leave a comment. I read them all, even the ones that blame me. Tap like if you'd open the pot. Subscribe to The Neighbor from 42 if you'd rather just watch me do it. Until next time, my dear listeners, keep your lids tight, your secrets tighter, and your spices close.